They called it the Dark Continent. But what if the real darkness was the silence that followed? This is not just history. It's a journey of resilience, power, and rebirth. Once upon a time, Africans built kingdoms so rich that even the sand sparkled with gold. Fast forward a few centuries, and now we're arguing about who has the best jollof rice. From pyramids that touch the sky to Wi-Fi that barely connects, Africa's story is one wild timeline. But here's the thing. Behind the memes, the music, and the moves lies a history so powerful, the world still can't keep up. So, what really happened between the kings of Mali and the kings of Afrobeats? Let's find out, because Africa didn't just survive history. We upgraded it. Yesterday looked like this, a rhythm set by the sun, not the clock. Hands on the land, feeling the turn of the seasons in the soil. Sun on the back, a familiar warmth that promised both harvest and hardship. The steady, percussive beat of pounding millet, the sound of sustenance. The patient work of mending nets, a lifeline to the sea's bounty. The long walk for water, a daily pilgrimage measured in miles and muscle. This was a world of deep knowledge, stories carried by griots, living libraries of lineage and law, their words weaving the past into the present. Wisdom was mapped in the stars, guiding travelers across vast, trackless landscapes. And technology? It was iron forged in roaring fires, a tradition stretching from the ancient knot culture to the smiths of the Great Lakes. This was skill, passed down through generations. This was science, embedded in architecture, agriculture, and astronomy. This was home. Then, as they always have, visitors came. Traders, scholars, and explorers, crossing deserts on camelback and oceans on the monsoon winds. They brought new tools and ideas, sails and compasses that opened new sea lanes, new crops and new scripts that changed diets and discourse. Books filled with distant philosophies and blueprints for new structures. And Africans didn't just adopt these tools, they adapted them, remixed them, made them their own. The Swahili ports of Kilwa and Mombasa didn't just trade goods, they blended languages, architectures, and cultures into something entirely new. Timbuktu didn't just collect books, it turned knowledge into vast libraries, becoming a global center for mathematics, law, and science. Great kingdoms traded salt for gold, and ideas for even more valuable ideas. This was the first information age. But let's be real. The story isn't a simple line of progress. There were immense struggles, unforgiving droughts that turned fertile land to dust, devastating diseases that swept through communities, and then new lines on the map. Borders drawn by strangers, carving up communities and histories with the stroke of a pen. Labor was taken, resources extracted, and local voices were silenced. Yet through it all, the spirit of ingenuity never died. People adapted, they resisted, they rebuilt. The community, the unbreakable bond between people, held the line. Fast forward, then meets now. The challenges are different, but the spirit is the same. Today, a market seller in Nairobi taps a simple feature phone and gets paid in seconds. No cash, no risk, just a secure transaction. M-Pesa, born in Kenya, didn't just offer a service. It turned every pocket into a bank, leapfrogging traditional infrastructure and empowering millions. From West Africa's mobile wallets to cross-border remittance apps, fintech is redrawing the continent's economic map. In a remote village in Rwanda, a nurse orders life-saving blood by text message. A drone launches, and the delivery arrives in minutes, not hours. This isn't science fiction, it's Zipline. It's health tech solving the last mile problem, one flight at a time. Telemedicine consultations connect rural patients with urban specialists, and community health workers use diagnostic apps to detect diseases earlier than ever before. Where the national grid never reached, solar microgrids are lighting up nights. Pay-as-you-go models from companies like M-Copa allow families to purchase clean energy one day at a time, powering lights for homework, charging phones to stay connected, and running small businesses after dark. That farmer with the sun on his back? Today, his daughter checks soil moisture and nitrogen levels on a cheap, locally made sensor connected to her phone. She gets weather forecasts and market prices via SMS, helping her plant smarter, use less water, and sell her crops for a better price. This is ag tech, boosting yields and building resilience. In a bustling tech hub in Lagos, a student learns to code on a second-hand laptop. She's not just learning a skill, she's plugging into a global digital economy. With that knowledge, she can build an app, solve a local problem, and ship it to the world from her bedroom. The modern griot no longer needs a firelight gathering. Creators film on their phones, telling their own stories, in their own voices, and speak to millions on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Nollywood films, Amapiano beats. They aren't just entertainment. They are cultural exports, powered by accessible technology. Yes, some of this new technology arrived with visitors, just like before. Fiber optic cables laid by international consortiums, the radio that connected villages, the rail lines that moved goods, and the internet itself, delivered through satellites and undersea cables. But progress is never a simple delivery. It's a collaboration. It's a conversation. The challenges remain real. The cost of data can be a barrier. Reliable electricity is not a given. E-waste is a growing concern. And how do you design an app for a farmer who speaks a language that isn't supported by major software? What matters, now as then, is what people do with the tools they have. And across Africa, the great remix is on. In the buzzing innovation hubs of Nairobi, the clean, organized tech parks of Kigali, the vibrant design studios of Accra, the booming fintech scene in Cape Town, the world-class film sets in Lagos, the labs launching satellites from Addis Ababa, and the green tech startups pioneering water solutions in Cairo. Every single day, ancient wisdom meets new tools. The deep understanding of community needs is the operating system. It's always been community first, technology second. From the rhythm of pounding millet to the tap-tap-tap of a screen, the fundamental goals have never really changed. Food on the table, a light in the home to study by, dignity in the work we do, and the profound satisfaction of building a future with our own hands. Yesterday taught resilience. It forged a muscle for adaptation that is now the continent's greatest strength. Today runs on that same ingenuity, supercharged by new tools. And tomorrow? Tomorrow is not something being delivered to Africa. It's being coded, built, and imagined here. It's already loading. If you love this journey through time, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that prove Africa's past was just the trailer and the future is the main movie.